Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. The 10th of November is here, and international break, technically speaking, has kicked off. So I thought it's a good time, straight after the draw, pretty much. Still, whilst the memory is fresh, let's just put it that way. Let's talk about Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal. Yes, we are still on top of the table, but we are only 4 points clear. And the question still remains. Will we be on top? And for how long we gonna be on top? And of course, Mikel Arteta. What he has to do, can he do anything? And if he does something, will that work in general to try to fix an issue, try to fix the issues, and basically to, I don't want to say save our season currently, but yeah, to basically see what is gonna what. So yeah, at the end of the day, those are the questions we're gonna try and answer so far. Season review, basically. So far, 11 games in, obviously Champions League and Carabao Cup as well, but we're mostly gonna focus, of course, on Premier League. Let's be real. But yeah, if people, don't forget to like the stream. If you haven't already, subscribe if you are new. And of course, leave your thoughts down the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them, and we can go from there. But yeah, obviously, Arsenal currently first in the table. Only 4 points clear, though. It's not 7, it's not 8, it's 4. 2 games, 2-game difference. And we all know that it can change just like that. It has again has come down to this, just looking at how Arsenal looked against Sunderland and how easily, to some extent, Man City dealt with Liverpool. Yeah, it didn't fill me with hope, with some excitement. Let's be real, because City are masters of chasing and winning. They're masters at leading as well. They have the know-how. They have done it before, and they can do it again. They have Donnarumma in goal, who is a big reason why. They have insane striker, a robot, an alien in Erling Haaland. And yeah, they know how to do it. And that's the thing, and that's why I'm worried. Sharks are circling around Arsenal. And it's slowly but steadily giving me a tiny bit of PTSD. I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely aware, because we have been there before. We have been there before, and it has not ended well. It definitely has not ended well, and the nuts part is City have been leaders, City have been chasers, and they still have got it over the line and won the league. On top of all that, after international break, in November international break, Arsenal have first 6 games. Very tough. Besides, I would say Brentford at home, but you'd never know, obviously, right? For Man City and Liverpool, they are light work. For those teams, well, maybe City against Newcastle at St. James, it's going to be a bit different. It's going to be a bit of a rough one. But overall, for them, it's going to be light work. For us, it's struggle town. Yes, Spurs is Spurs, but hey, you never know. Chelsea away. Last 2 years we have drawn there. It's not great. Let's be real. In between, Bayern Munich at home. Also, not something I'm looking forward at the current stage. And of course, Aston Villa away. Don't know how Villa is going to look, because they are very hit and miss. They had a very slow start the season. They're slowly kicking into gear. And you never know what kind of Villa we are going to get. So, yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. Hence all these questions, hence all these discussions we are going to surround and talk about here today. Big up Anfield the Red. We are ass right now, but we are 4 points behind the Premier League leaders. Unless Arteta uses his brain, then it's 8 points. Wait, hold on. You are, what? 8 points behind us. Liverpool are 8 points behind us. City are 4. Not you, man. Big up Khyber Protagonist. Hope you're doing well today. Big up Mubarak as well. Arteta must sign a left winger. That's not even enough, to be honest. For Arteta to sign left winger, that's not even enough. On top of all that, I'm kind of in this mindset and in this space a tiny bit where I don't want this guy getting any more money. I'm also in this mindset. I don't want this guy getting any more money. because you would think that after billion plus spent, well, you would have the squad, but it's quite evident he doesn't. He doesn't use the bench. He doesn't use the rotation properly. And yeah, we are paying the ultimate price to some extent right now. Big up, Hendon. By the time the weekend ends, after we play Chelsea, Man City will be back on top. There is a possibility of that. There definitely is a possibility of that. And oh my goodness gracious. My camera is out of focus, and this is not a good sign. Should be okay. Yeah, it is kind of okay. But yeah, there is a possibility. Obviously, we all expect beating Spurs. We all expect that, but we also, to some extent, expected beating Sunderland. And you never know in this league. You never know the teams you'll face. You never know what's going to happen. Yes, the North London derby at home, we are very strong. We have, after international break, apparently Havertz is going to be back. Odegaard is going to be back. Madueke is going to be back. He was almost registered for Sunderland's game, but they decided not to risk it. Apparently, Gyökeres is going to be back. All the squad is going to be back for the Spurs game. Now, how that's going to turn out, it's going to be very interesting to see. And also, international break, you never know. We can get some injuries. You can also never, ever, 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 ever know that. Big up, PW, big up. Arteta has to study and balancing selection. Yeah, he needs something like that. He needs definitely something like that. Good evening. I don't want Arteta to sign another player. I want Arteta to sign. He's the single point of failure. To some extent, that is the case at the moment. People will disagree on this. People can agree with this. But yes, Arteta came in and fixed some sort of a mess at Arsenal. It wasn't such a big mess as people portray it to be overall, but it was a mess. Arteta kind of fixed it. The issue is right now, to some extent, Arteta is the mess that needs fixing. And yeah, that again it's not ideal. But maybe he can fix it himself, maybe. Obviously, the track record is not the greatest, but, well, I guess we have the hope and the cope and all this stuff. Let's be real. We are missing Odegaard, Martinelli, Havertz, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Jesus. When they return, we'll have more firepower. Well, not so sure about that one. Because technically speaking, yes, but if Odegaard Martinelli is back, it means Eze is not playing. Yes, off the bench, it's great, but we are talking about starting 11. If Havertz is back, he's going to start. Jesus hasn't been here for like 2 years, what it feels like, so go figure. At the end of the day, will he be useful or not? He scored 5 goals against Palace and then pieced the scene once again. So ultimately, yeah, technically speaking, we will have more subs. We will have more bodies into the team. We will have some sort of a rotation. At the same time, I'm not going to lie, even with them, it's the same manager, it's the same tactic, it's the same style, and nothing is changing. So it's kind of, once again, putting squared pegs in round holes to some extent. We are kind of back to that scenario to some extent. And it is a bit of a worry, I'll just put it that way. All good, big up Sheldon, and all good Sheldon, big up Sheldon. Thank you for even dropping by. Big up to you, my guy, big up. Draw against Spurs and Chelsea and City win their 2 matches. They go on top. Yes, we are 4 points ahead. Exactly. They win 2, we drew 1, we win 1. They go ahead. We have the same goal difference, by the way, as City right now, plus 15, which means if they win 2 and we win 1 and draw 1, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be on top just because of the goal difference. So it's not that far-fetched. Chelsea somehow are only 6 points behind us. And can you imagine how that will look if we lose to Chelsea, for example? Imagine the scenes if we lose to Chelsea. Can you imagine? I don't want to imagine this, but last 2 years at Chelsea away, we have drawn at Stamford Bridge. We should have lost one of those games. It's just the fact that 2 errors from their own end led to 2 of our goals. Let's be real. But yeah, that's the thing. Chelsea only 6 points behind. If we lose to Chelsea, by the way, they're only 3 points behind if we don't count the Spurs game, which is not also ideal if we look from that point of view. We are in a very, very tricky position at the moment. Look how Villa have recovered, by the way. They were, 18th, 19th, 20th, or something weird like that. Now they are 6th already. They are picking up the pace, and we have to play them away as well. Let's be real. Let's be real. So we'll see. We definitely will see. Apart from Jokic, yeah, that's how I see it as well. We give Arteta last chance. Arteta has been given the last chance for how many years now? Every single year. Oh, Arteta has the last chance. I'm sick of tired of last chances. You make one, your chances are done. It's way too long. It's way overdone. You have overstayed your welcome at the end of the day. The main flaw for Arteta is failing to take off the players that were knackered, Saka, Merino, and Trossard as well, by the way. And his fave, exactly, and not bringing on Skelly and Ranieri and even Dalman. It is, exactly, and playing players injured and all this stuff. It is sackable offense. Odegaard has been a big miss, better than Eze. Havertz better than Merino. In no world, Odegaard is better than Eze, for me personally. And the other one, how can you compare a number 6 to a striker at the end of the day? So-called striker, to be honest. We cannot say even what that Havertz is a striker, but at the end of the day, we have to portray him like that. Merino is a midfielder. You cannot compare those two in general. Merino up top is the last resort because Arteta doesn't trust Anush to play him up top. I just put it that way. Sorry, Pillow with Odegaard is too for the Prem. He is too weak. He's too slow. He doesn't do things quickly. It's insane. Let me share this with you. Let me share with you this. So, can anyone guess who is who? Can anyone guess who is who? Just question. Serious question. Can anyone guess who is who? Serious talk. Who is who? Well, you got 2 out of 3, to be honest. You got 2 out of 3. Well, 2 out of 4, to be honest. 2 out of 4. Because technically speaking, the idea behind all of that was that the professor is Arteta, obviously. The orange one, so-called Blossom, right, is Calafiori. Bubbles is Odegaard. And the Bar Cup is Havertz, right? But Havertz didn't come out the way I planned it to be. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, this is Power Fluff Yes Man. If you know, you know. Power Fluff Yes Man. It's not even Power Puff. It's Power Fluff Yes Man. And that is Arteta, Calafiori, Odegaard, and Havertz. This is the Arteta's mighty trio. Ugh. We talked about this yesterday. I had this idea. I tried to make it for today. Didn't come out exactly as I wanted, but hey, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, well, let's be real, you don't at the end of the day. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, Arteta's Power Fluff man. Yes, man. But yeah, back to some serious business. Arsenal just drew. We dropped points, and people are very, very mixed about this. Right? If you sit on the one side of the fence, right, and on the fence that I'm sitting on that side, it's been coming. We have been waiting for this. We have been playing like this throughout pretty much the whole season, besides maybe 1 or 2 halves, like against Atletico Madrid, the second half, and another 1 half maybe. But at the end of the day, the results have painted over the cracks. It has basically put some beer goggles over the eyes to some people. And it was inevitable that we're going to get figured out. Sunderland also, to some extent, have shown the blueprint how to deal with Arsenal, how to rile us, how to nullify us, and how to deal with us on counters, and how to make the best, and how to exploit our defensive issues, right? If you see, that's from my side of the fence, let's just put it that way. If you sit on the other side of the fence, which is Arteta in and all this stuff, right? Then it's just, it's only 1 game. Oh, it's nothing special. It was bound to happen eventually. Oh. But ironically enough, before this draw, all the same people were screaming, we're gonna win the quad, we're gonna beat Chelsea's defensive record, we have the best squad in the league, and all that crap, right? Somehow, I don't see pretty much any of them with the same chest anywhere. Football is a humbler. Let's be real. Football is a humbler at the end of the day. And it's showing. It definitely is showing to quite maximum extent. And about the players that are coming back from injuries, right? Like, for example, Madueke. Well, he's a backup. Yes, Saka will have finally a rotation. But again, 2 years too late. Somewhat adequate rotation, even. 2 years too late. Saka needed a backup 2 years ago. And not Reece Nelson, not Raheem Shillings, none of those. He needed somewhat decent backup. Do I think Madueke is a somewhat decent backup? Yes, I do. Do I think he's the long-term solution? No, I don't. Let's just put it that way. But at the same time, it is the case. We need the number 6, right? We've been saying this even with Partey here. We said that he needs a backup, he needs a replacement, he needs an understudy for the time when he leaves. And we didn't do that. We've been saying since 23 season that we need a striker, and we still didn't get that up until this summer. Up until this summer, when we spent 52 million on Madueke and 60-something million on Gyökeres, which accumulates together to 115 million pretty much, right? Up until that point, of the 750 million we had spent in the windows, only 80 million or so were spent on forwards. Only 80 million. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Rest of the money was basically spent on defenders, endless goalkeepers, left backs, and midfielders. And we were paying the ultimate price because how long, for example, Bukayo Saka could have carried us until he breaks down? Last year it happened. At the end of the day, for example, we have Gyökeres at striker right now, yeah? Did you see him play sprint back and everything like he did for Sporting Lisbon? No, he doesn't. No, he didn't. It's new style, new system, new pressing techniques and all whatever you want to call them, right? And his muscles are not ready for that, hence why he got injured. Same goes for Madueke, same goes for Martinelli, and it's an endless cycle of the same old. And that just shows that Arteta hasn't learned from his mistakes. Oh, it's all on Edu. No, it's not. If it was all on Edu, why on earth Mikel Arteta is coming out in interviews and saying, oh, it took me 5 seconds to realize I need Raheem Shillings here. Oh, it took me 3 seconds to realize we need Madueke here. And Havertz, and Fabio Vieira, and all these men. Like, get real. Seriously, get the F real. Where's coach and all his chest? Yeah, where is coach? Where is Dio to some extent? Where are all of them, man? I agree. Eze is more offensive, but was poor against Son. Odegaard links well with Saka. So what? If you believe what most of the fan base is saying, that Saka is world class, one of the best in his position, they're taking him over Salah, they're taking him over Rodrigo, and all these men out there, right? How comes we are, well, to some extent PW as well, by the way, no offense, I'm just saying it as I see it. You are saying that this man needs Odegaard to be better. Yes, good players make you better when you play next to him, but to solely depend on that is just, well, sorry, but dumb. We saw that last year. Odegaard was injured for quite a bit. For 2 months almost, right? And Saka still had performances. Well, not gameplay performances, but more of output, right? When Odegaard was in and Saka was out, Odegaard was still stinking out the place like he did with Saka and after Saka and before Saka and beyond the Saka and under the Saka and above the Saka. Nothing changed. And now again we start this thing. How comes nobody now is saying, oh, but they need Ben White for the play styles now? Nobody mentions Ben White anymore. Because before it was, oh, Saka needs Ben White and Odegaard. He needs them both. Now it's just Odegaard. Nobody needs Ben White anymore. Like if he is this world class player, people believe him to be. Well, although based on the last year or so performances, nowhere close, right? But it is what it is at this stage. He should not need this guy, Odegaard, to make him be the best in the world at the end of the day. What if Arteta changed to 4-3-3 to 4-4-2? Yeah, what if he changed? I would love to see 4-4-2 with Gyökeres, Havertz, Gyökeres, Martinelli up top as two strikers. I would love to see that. But we all know how, well, exciting Arteta is, how willing he is to change. And that is never going to happen, is it? Big up, Darren. Big up, Darren. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up, Abs. Big up, Abs. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Go subscribe to Abs as well, people. Go subscribe to Abs, people. Arsenal fan. And here it is. Today's show is presented by Power Fluff Yes Men. Today's show is presented by Power Fluff Yes Men. In the starting roles, Mikel Arteta as the Professor, Calafiori as the Blossom Stallion, Odegaard as Bubbles, and Kai Havertz as the Bar Cup from Germany. Today's show presented by Power Fluff Yes Men. Let's do this, people. Let's do this. And it is what it is to this stage. Big up, AJ. Big up, AJ. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well, my guy, today. That was Saka's first open play away goal in 18 months. Yeah, exactly. And if Saka doesn't get an assist till November 30th, in 20 days, by the way, he will go a whole calendar year without an assist. Not calendar alone, a whole year. Last time Bukayo Saka got an assist in Premier League was November 30th against West Ham when we beat him 5-2 and he got 3 assists. That was the last time Bukayo Saka got an assist in Premier League. Fast forward a year pretty much, and he still has nada. Big up, AJ, big up. People as well. If you haven't already, like the stream and subscribe if you are new around here. Apart from his goal, Saka was anonymous. Yes, he was. He was anonymous. And that is Saka's trademark in last year and a half or so. Saka doesn't have performances. He just has the output. Which obviously we cannot complain because we need this output to even stay in the games. Or to win even those games, right? But you would love to see a Saka's great performance from Bukayo Saka. You would love to see Saka from 2021, 22 years. When he actually, yes, he didn't have the stats on the sheet, but he was taking on opponents, he was blitzing them, he was dribbling between them, taking them all on, and all this stuff. Yeah, here is Abs' link, people. Go subscribe to him, show him some love. Arsenal fan, top guy, absolute legend. Sadly, no top tier team would take Saka now, not with that hamstring injury. And I think Saka is still injured. Either he's still feeling the consequences or he's still injured. Big up, Ryan. Big up, Ryan. Best formation, Raya, Timba, Saliba, Gabriel, and Miles Lewis Skelly. Zubmendi, Rice, Eze, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Saka. Saka is nowhere near world class. Yeah, Saka is not world class. For me, he's not, at least. I'm going to be honest with you. For me, he's not world class. But hey, some people think. Fair play to them. But at the same time, looking at what some people think about Arsenal's players, right? It's actually scary situations. Very scary situations, because I think you all have seen this, though, haven't you? Maybe you have not. Give me a sec. Because we were looking at this. We were talking about this some time ago. Where is it? We were doing this share screen. This one. Wait. Sorry. Here we go.
Saliba start for these all-time football clubs? Does William Saliba start in the 04-05 Chelsea team? Yes, over Carvalho, innit? Yeah.
I am backing it, but
Over
Carvalho was outrageous. No, you know what? Them two together, they were a deadly duo. But
Imagine
I
John
think
Terry and Saliba, bro. They're not, bro. That conceded record would have gone all the way down
they
to
conceded
5.
15. I'm gonna say no.
Does William Saliba start for the Real Madrid 3-peat Champions League team, 2016 to 2018?
But Saliba would be Varane's age right now when he was doing
You
that
know
3-peat,
what?
innit?
I'm going yes. Saliba's better than Varane.
Or Sergio Ramos. Is he better than Sergio Ramos?
No. Maybe it could be, but I'm going Varane. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. He's gonna
Saliba.
start in for Varane.
Does William Saliba start for the Man City Centurions team?
Who was that?
I'm gonna go.
Wait, who?
Yes, I'm gonna go. Yes.
Ooh. Oh yes, bro.
Yes,
bro.
yes,
Easy
yes,
peasy.
yes.
There's no. Oh my days. Yes, bro. Yes,
Just
bro.
relax. So they're good players.
Saliba's clear, bro.
Does William Saliba start for the Arsenal Invincibles?
Colo Toure. I'm looking at Colo Toure, bro. I really think. You see, if Saliba wins a Prem and the Champs, or if he wins the Champions League, I genuinely think he becomes our best centre back of all time. He needs a trophy, like a big trophy, a major trophy, and he becomes.
I'm going yes.
I'm
I'm
going
going
yes
yes,
as well.
100%.
Does William Saliba start for Barcelona's treble-winning team in 2009?
I'm
Who's the
looking.
centre back to the
I'm
time?
looking at Puyol PK. I think.
That's tough.
Yaya Toure start at the final?
But I think
You know what? Yeah, it's a depending fact. I'm gonna go yes.
Who does he start over though? I think he starts with Puyol.
But Puyol is different. It's leader, isn't it?
What am I
He starts with
hearing?
Puyol, bro.
Is it fries and bag right now? Is it fries and bag time? Yeah, I think it's fries and bag time. But I'm gonna.
There we go, people. There we flip and go. According to them, Saliba is better than Ricardo Carvalho in best Chelsea defense that helped the Premier League defensive record. He is starting over Varane in Real Madrid's Champions League treble team from 16 to 18. He's starting over Puyol in Barcelona's all-9 treble team. And Saliba would start over Colo Toure in Arsenal's invincible team. This is the levels we are dealing with right now. This is the levels we are dealing right now. And how can you not be pissed? Because these types of people are super happy that it's only one draw. Oh, we have drawn 2 games, only lost 1. Look, the rest are wins. Yay! And all this stuff. Come on, man. But yeah, going back to Ryan's comment, right? Best formation, right? What you mean 4-4-2 or what? Because I can see being team back 4, right? Zubmendi right 2 midfielders, Eze what left mid, Martinelli right mid, or what are you saying here? Or Saka right mid, Eze left mid, Martinelli, Gyökeres strikers in 4-4-2, since you before said that you would like to see Arteta play in a 4-4-2. That's my question to you. We have now dropped 7 points in 11 games. That's not winning form, simple as that. So basically, if we go by this track record, right, we're going to drop, 31 points, 31, 32 points. How many points you can get? 138 times 314 minus 32. If 18, that's 82 points. That's not good enough. Not giving the deal. Repeat, dropping 7 points in the next 10 matches and the next 10, etc., and the title is gone. Yeah, exactly. If we drop, let's just say, the same amount of points in the next 10 games and then 7 points in the next 10 games as well, that's minus 21 points out of 90 available. They will be on 59 points. I'm not too sure that will be sustainable, because from the 8 games to win the league, that's definitely not going to stick, is it? And with Man City breathing on our necks pretty much at the moment, because for Man City, 4 points is crunch time. For Man City, 4 points or even 6 points is striking distance. For Arsenal, 6 points. It's pray, hope, and everything. It's different levels of this. They're completely different levels to this. Madrid should be looking at Gabriel, not Salib. That would fix all their... Partially, yes. Good morning, Fusion. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Let's suck a leave. Otherwise, we are stuck with a crock on huge wages like the Gabriel Jesus situation. Money can be better spent on replacement. Interesting. I would try and sell this coming soon, especially considering pure profit. It would be pure profit as well. Would help with FFP, PSR, and all the abbreviations. 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, whatever is needed. To be honest, we play 4-3-3 right now. By default, the way we start, it is 4-3-3. And that's how we play. If you want 4-4-2, I totally can see that as well. Big up, Marlon. Big up, Marlon. Arteta out, sack, problem solved. Yeah, but when? The question is, when? I'm sick and tired of the top gunners saying, good point, shut up and move on. Yeah, like, that's the thing. As soon as they say, good point, shut up and move on, they know that they're cornered and they have no, comeback to that at the end of the day. They realize that they have basically driven themselves into a corner during an argument or discussion or whatever. And the only way they can get out of it is say, well, yeah, good point, shut up and let's move on, let's change the subject. Or they start to insult you, one or the other. I feel like Max Dauman is doing better than Saka now. How to say? For me personally, Max Dauman is looking more fresh. Let's just put it that way, because he hasn't been annihilated by Arteta yet. And that for me is the biggest worry. The longer Arteta stays, the more Arteta can infect his, Arteta-titis in this instance, to Skelly, to Manieri, and to Dauman. And the more they will become robotic. And I don't want that. I want a manager who allows Max Dauman be Max Dauman. What we see on the pitch, where he takes on 3-4 opponents, where he takes risks, draws fouls, gets penalties, creates chances, situations, and everything. I want to see that Max Dauman. Because the longer Arteta stays, Max Dauman is going to turn into another Saka. And I don't mean injuries. I mean that he's going to recycle possession. He's going to basically start passing backwards half the time. 4-4-2, 1,000% would work only because Arteta ain't smart enough to use it. And that is the other thing. That is another thing. He just knows 4-3-3. Big up, Godfrey. Big up, Godfrey. I'm doing good. I'm going good. Dauman right mid, Trossard left mid, Gyökeres, Nelly up top, Zubmendi and Eze in the midfield. I would say Rice and Eze in the midfield would be interesting. Rice and Eze in the midfield would be very interesting. Trossard's originally a left mid, though. Yeah, he is, technically speaking. Trossard can cook in 4-4-2. Trossard was cooking in 4-4-2. He cooked against Brighton in 4-4-2. If I'm not mistaken, we also played against PSG last year in the league stage, in the league group stage. We also played 4-4-2, and we absolutely dominated PSG. Yes, they didn't have Kvaratskhelia and Dembele. At the same time, we absolutely annihilated PSG. There's times to be robotic. There's times to be free-flowing. Arteta does not know that. That's the thing. Arteta's solution for every problem is the same. It's somehow, I don't know why, but he doesn't want to recognize the fact that there are different solutions for different problems. But for Arteta, it's 60 problems, one solution. That's it. Zubmendi is getting carried by all of the rights running. So if we lose right, Zubmendi falls off a cliff. Oh yeah, 100%. And it's not just our defense is going to fall off. Our attack also is going to fall off. Because yes, Rice is being played out of position. Yes, he's being asked to do things during games he's not fully equipped for the lack of a better word, in terms of technical abilities. At the same time, he does a very good job. And if we put into equation set pieces, in general, free kicks, corners, and all this stuff, yeah, it could be long. It could be very, very long. Very goddamn long. The 4-4-2 would cook, as I could even play left mid too with Rice and Zubmendi in the mid. Yeah, there could be that possibility, without shadow of a doubt. There is a possibility of that, surely. But hey, we can just talk about this hypothetically, because we all know that that is never, ever going to happen. But what can you do? What can you do? But yeah, going back in general to Arsenal's season, 11 games played in Premier League. 8 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. 20 goals scored, 5 conceded, 26 points. We got 26 points out of 11 games. So basically we get almost 2.3 points per game. I'm not too sure that is, well, if we go by this rate we are currently on, that's going to be 78. 78. That would be about what, 90 points. If we keep going like this, we could actually do it. But again, it's a very tall order. With Man City and knowing how Man City can do this, experiencing the fact that Man City can go 20 plus games unbeaten, they can catch you, chase you, chew you up, spit you out, and leave you behind as well. I'm very worried about this because it's only 4 points. It's only 4 points because if we would have done our job, it would be 6 points. Still, for Man City, 4 to 6 points for Man City is striking distance. For Arsenal, it's panic stations, right? So it is it's a very touchy subject, but Mikel Arteta must definitely change. He needs to change something in that team. And I don't mean start Odegaard and Havertz instead of Eze and Gyökeres because I kind of am preparing mentally already for this scenario to happen, by the way. I'm very, very strongly preparing for Gyökeres to be on the bench, Havertz to start, Eze, best case scenario, left wing, and Odegaard in the 10. Already preparing for that. Who's the most important players for our team? I think Rice is the most important. Rice and Gabriel Magalhaes. Those two. Ironically enough, Rice for midfield, for the work he does, unmatched, and set pieces. And Gabriel Magalhaes, ironically enough, for our attack. Because Gabriel actually is one of the biggest influences on how we deal and do our set pieces. Whether he is at the receiving end of a cross, or he is the guy who lays off the ball for the secondary man to take a shot or to play an open pass for a shot. Gabriel is the target man. Defense is defense, but in the attack, somehow Gabriel plays hella pivotal role. Let's just put it that way. I'm saying 4-4-2 with Gabriel, Mosquera, Duan, Calafiori, Timba, with Rice, Mendy, double pivot with Eze or Trossard left mid, Saka, Madueke at right mid with Nelly, Gyökeres up top. Would be interesting to see. Definitely some pace, some creativity, some chaos, some attack, some defense. It kind of has the mix and blend of it all. For me, it's just that it's not balanced enough. A bit, kind of, in the midfield. Yeah, and Big Gubby, exactly. Would suit us and Rice where he can his actual position and double pivot. Yeah, exactly. Play him as a 6 double pivot, and we should be Gucci. We should. At least that's how it looks like. On paper, it sounds good. But when City is chasing, gotta be near perfect. Exactly. On paper, it sounds good. 4 points clear, 2-game gap. Like, there is some safety net, technically speaking, and all this stuff and everything. At the same time, when it's Man City behind you, those 4 points might as well not exist to some extent. Because we know how Man City operate. City is dangerous as hell. They would have won the Prem 10 times if it wasn't for Liverpool. Yeah. And if Arsenal could actually do something, we could have won the Premier League 2 times at least. If we lose Rice, Manchester City win the league that second, and we are fighting for top 5, I can see that argument being made. It obviously depends that if Rice gets injured, right, for how long he's out. Because if he's out for a game or 2, it will not affect us that much. But if he is out for a month, 2 months, God forbid more, yeah, then it's cooked. Then you can basically wave your everything goodbye. Yeah, like the stream, people, if you haven't already, and subscribe if you are new around here. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are 23 subs away. It's Man City and Liverpool league at this point. To be honest, cannot even count Liverpool because Liverpool are 8th in the league. Ironically enough, Liverpool currently are sitting 8th in the league. Liverpool are 8th in the league and 8 points behind us. Liverpool has fallen quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, they have fallen quite a bit. And based on how they looked against Man City and the games before, I don't know how they're going to turn this around on a quick note. I genuinely don't know. And then if you have to look at AFCON, that when Salah is going away, not that he's performing or anything, right? But that he's going away and all this, like, it's not going to be easy. Definitely not going to be easy. Are we getting anyone in January market? This is the place where it gets rough. Let's just put it that way, because I think we need a left wing, a midfielder, a proper left back, right? Okay. That would cost overall about, I don't even know, like 80, 60, 140, nearly like 170 to 200 million, right? But I don't want this manager getting any more money. I just don't. 1 billion should be more than enough to have your own players. Everyone should be in place. Your squad should be completely done, and you should be set for greatness. And we haven't seen none of that. Hence why I don't want to get anyone. However, if you sign a player, let's just say in January, with a thought process that it's for the next manager or something like that, then I would be open to it. But if Arteta stays after the season, holy crap. I've had enough of Raya. Should have paid the 25 million pounds for Donnarumma cost. Well, that's the thing. We signed Raya 3 years ago, almost, right? 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Donnarumma was available for 25 just this summer. Like we couldn't have waited that long. Well, to be honest, we could have kept Ramsdale, but you know how Ramsdale goes with watching the pigeons and all this stuff. So wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him at the moment. 21 years, no Prem. Guys, 5 years, no FA Cup. 33 years, I think, with no Carabao Cup. And never we have won the Champions League. I'm not so sure we can even be called a big club anymore. We technically are, let's be real, just because of the past we have built foundations on. And the trophies we have won in the past, so we can build this foundation, we can have this name, this brand as the Big Six. But the way we are playing, the fact that we are 5 years in trophy drought, more than halfway through Wenger's 9-year trophy drought, and it's looking very shaky at the moment, I'm not so sure we can classify ourselves as a big club at the moment. Nothing, no Prem in 22. Well, yeah, Leicester won the league, City won the league, Liverpool won the league, Chelsea have won the league in this time. Let's be real. Then in the means of things, like Leicester have won the cup, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, City, Liverpool have won the cups. Like it's not great. By the way, just curious. If Glasner wins the Conference League, right? What does that say about Arteta? Because I already can see Top Gunners saying, oh, even Arteta can win Conference League. Well, I'm not too sure about that one, Chief. At this point, just name the league, City and Liverpool League, because they won't sack the shin and mid-break and want to be done. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. I would say Glasner and a heartbeat, same. Same, because looking at the way Glasner plays football and how he plays football with the resources he has at his disposal currently, right? And if you put that and kind of transform it into the actual players he would have at Arsenal at his disposal, plus on top of that, the money and the backing he potentially could get, I actually would be somewhat excited. Definitely would, without shadow of a doubt. Glasner will win the Conference League, then watch him win the Europa League next season. Well, he has won it before, so there's no reason why he couldn't do it again. If he manages to finish properly with Crystal Palace and win also Conference League, then get into Europa League, I think Crystal Palace are gonna back him. The question is, how they gonna replace Gehi, for example, and how they gonna spend their money? Because currently there are a few takers for Mateta, there are a few takers for Gehi as well, not just one, but a few. So it will be interesting to see what they do when they replace them. And that is the most interesting part of it all. And to be honest, while speaking of other managers, I will show you this one. Not sure if anyone has read this today or not. That according to Matteo Moretto, right? There's the meeting scheduled for today between Antonio Conte and the Napoli management, which would include club president Aurelio De Laurentiis. Both parties want to understand how and whether to move forward together. Napoli are currently sitting 4th in Serie A and 24th, pretty much, well, down there, in Champions League group phase, whilst losing 4 or 6-0 against PSV on all these games, right? The thing is, De Laurentiis has come out in an interview and completely denied these rumors that Conte might be going, he might be sacked, or he might resign, right? But the thing is, for me, whenever I read this stuff, I always keep in the back of my mind the fact that where there is smoke, there is fire. And this kind of stuff doesn't come out out of nowhere. It usually starts somewhere. It usually starts somewhere. And it could be a case. There could be a case for that. Definitely could be a case for that. So my question for you all at the moment, everyone in the chat, if Napoli would fire, or basically Conte resigns from Napoli, would you take him at Arsenal? Would you take Antonio Conte at Arsenal? Question for you all. Xavi, Inzaghi, Nagelsmann, Zidane, give us something. Well, Inzaghi is a tough one to get. He's like 26 million at Saudi at Al Hilal, at the moment. Zidane, well, if we pay the money, like we could get him potentially. Let's just say it as it is, but we'll see. We need to get rid of this garbage. Yeah, exactly. We need trophies, serious trophies, so that young fans can cheer more and have more faith in the club. That's the thing. Imagine if we would win trophies. Imagine the chest of these top gooners who are at the moment just bragging with their pigeon chest. They would actually have some proper chest and something to brag with, actually. But right now, it's just hot air, like in sauna. You just sit there and, it's too hot, basically, as they are looking at Mikel Arteta posters in their bedrooms. Last time Arsenal won the league, my phone was Dil Notion. Oh, but dude. Last time Arsenal won the league, what was I? Last time Arsenal won the league, I was in 3rd grade, in 2nd grade. Yeah. In the meantime, since the last time Arsenal have won the league, I've finished school, finished uni, have found a job, have a family, have my own place, which I bought for my own money. I have everything in life, pretty much. Like, that's how nuts it is. Hendon would take Conte in a heartbeat. Honestly, believe Xavi wouldn't do better, so no, for me, no. I see. What about Conte, AJ? What about Conte? Would you take Conte at Arsenal, AJ? 1000% Xavi would make this club. No, Conte. Why not, Fusion? Why not? Let me know your reasonings why. I'm just curious, genuinely. Inzaghi Saudi contract ends this summer. We need to be all over. Doesn't he have a 2-year deal? Hold on. Doesn't he have a... Doesn't he have a 2-year deal? He has a 2-year deal. He signed a 2-year deal. So his contract is gonna run out in 2027, no? Conte has a 2-year deal, as far as I know. Last time Arsenal won the league, I wasn't born. Well, see? Says a lot, doesn't it? That's how nuts it is. You were just swimming in the man's sack. My bad. No, it's a 2-year, $60 million deal. Something like that. He signed a 2-year deal, basically. 26 million a year. 20 goddamn 6 million a year, you know. That's how wild it is. But let's be real. We cannot forget this one, though. Welcome to Power Fluff Yes Men. In the starring roles, Mikel Arteta as the Professor, Calafiori as Blossom, Odegaard as Bubbles, and Havertz as Barcup. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, Inzaghi. Wait, sorry, my camera went out of focus once again. I'm very sorry about that. I apologize. What? My camera is weird today, genuinely. Inzaghi, Zidane, Simeone, Carlo, Conte, Glezna, Flick, Enrique, and finally René Slegas. AJ is gonna go for René Slegas until he gets her at the end of the day. It might be the case. To be honest, she has won Champions League, so it's a bit of a different one. Damn, you Saudi let us have Inzaghi. Nah, they're never gonna do that, huh? They're never gonna do that. I was still in my 30s when Arsenal last won the Prem. I'm 60 now. See? Hendon is old. Hendon almost hasn't seen Arsenal for half of his life. He also almost hasn't seen Arsenal win a Premier League. Half of his life. That's how nuts it is. Literally, last time Arsenal won the league, I was, I think, 11. Yeah, 11. Which means 66.7% of my life, I haven't seen Arsenal win the league. I'm almost 33. I'm going to be 33 next year, so 67%. Like, that is nuts. And Arsenal, since last time Arsenal won the league, well, Twitter wasn't invented, YouTube wasn't invented, Gmail wasn't invented. Think about it this way. iPhone wasn't even a thing, if I'm not mistaken. It came around in 2005. My memory doesn't deceive me. Damn, Hendon. I know. Yeah. We have some old-timers here as well, proper Arsenal fans. I used to love Conte as a player, as a manager. Now, too much potential, necessary dramas. Remember the feud between him and Tuchel. Well, and that's fun. Well, you need this in game. That is also a thing. These days, you have none of this in games. You need some spice. You need attitude. Because many of these managers these days feel like they're genuine marshmallows. They are genuine marshmallows at the end of the day. They are too nicey, wishy-washy. Let's all be friends. You know Barney settings. I love you. You love me. We are happy family. And all this stuff. You need some attitude. You need some beef. You know, like Sir Alex versus Wenger versus Jose and all this stuff. You need this stuff. You need some proper rivalries, not just on the pitch, not just between the clubs, which also has died, by the way, to a very big extent, because I never saw Keane and Vieira after the game shaking hands and discussing their next tea party they're going to have or which club they're going to go party to. They were ready to genuinely kick each other's teeth out. These days, you see Arsenal versus United, Arsenal versus Spurs game ends. Hey, how you doing? Where did you get your haircut? What you having for dinner? And all this stuff. Like, come on, man. That's also like, what are we doing here? On a real note, Hansi Flick would cost like 30 million pounds to buy from Barcelona right now. Do it. Really? Wait, hold on. Hansi Flick is on 9 million per year in Barcelona. 9 million per year, right? 9 million. When does his contract run out? His contract runs out in 2 years. So if we buy him out now, it would be about 20 to 25 million to buy his contract out. If you give him about like 12 million even, that's what, 35 million, something like that we can pay and get him to this club. I saw Arsenal do their first double. See? Sell Mr. Hospital, CEO, Nelly, Trossard, Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus. There are lots of them, to be honest. But Conte wins Prem, then the drama comes. Give me that Prem. Yeah, give the Prem, then sack him. As long as we win the Prem. Lokonga, Vieira, many more. I'm forgetting. Yeah, Lokonga, Vieira, Cedric, Pablo Marie, Ryan, Runnison. Who else was there? Marquinhos. Like, they're endless. Matt Turner. The endless of those. Endless. Let's be real. Nuno Savage. Jose. No. For me, Jose is sayonara at the moment. I don't see it. Like, even at Benfica, he's struggling. Even though Benfica recruited very poorly their The way Benfica recruited last summer felt like they're more were recruited for Rui Costa so he can be re-elected as the club's president more than anything. So they got their whole recruitment wrong. So that is a bit as on them as well. Hence why Bruno Lage didn't succeed in anyone else. Nelson could go for at least 20 million. Then if he stays fit and has a decent season, then yes. If I had to choose between Conte and Mourinho, I'd go with Conte. Yeah, I would definitely. Dobja wins the Premier. What did this spark the bus? I'm not too sure. I kind of feel like he is past due to some extent. Luis Enrique is on 8.6 million pounds. Yeah, he is literally what Enrique is getting genuinely half of what Mikel Arteta is getting at Arsenal. Seriously, Luis Enrique is getting half, 2 times less almost, and Flick is getting 2.5 times less what Mikel is getting at Arsenal, by the way. And for what? For what? Serious talk. For what? Of course, I would take Klopp as well, but that's never happening. Klopp is never coming. Only club he's going back to, if he's even returning to Premier League, is Liverpool. 1000% Klopp is a go. Could we take him? Yeah. He made Salah, Mane, VVD, dude. To some extent, some Liverpool fans definitely would argue that when they sold their wingers, they should have kept Mane and sold Salah to some extent. Keep Firmino, Mane, and then sign another right winger. And now I'm reading that Liverpool might be signing Olise. Claire won't be happy, by the way, about that one, but it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. Liverpool are looking at Antoine Semenyo and Michel Olise at the moment for their wing options. I read today that Arsenal are interested in Rafa Leao, which is very weird. I didn't expect that a single damn bit. That's what I read today. The thing is, though, Arsenal allegedly, according to rumors and reports, as Eros loves that word, Arsenal are willing to pay 75 million euros, right? It's about 70 million pounds or something weird like that. Let's just say it as it is. For Rafa Leao. And Chelsea last summer quoted a price of 100 million. Obviously, Arsenal's offer is for 25 million less. Leao is actually having somewhat decent season in Serie A as well, so I'm not so sure it's going to be available. Then again, to play the devil's advocate in all of this, right? Leao is very intrigued by Premier League, and he would love to have a Premier League move. Well, that's what at least sources are saying. What sources? Go figure, because they never revealed their sources, so it might as well be the neighbor's goldfish who said that, so go figure. And don't forget, he was the manager who introduced Levitt in Dortmund, destroying Madrid with prime round. Oh, dude, those games. I still... that right side, the Polish right side of Borussia Dortmund, like Piszczek, Blaszczykowski, and Lewandowski, that right side into striker, just for me, it was sublime to watch. Genuinely sublime to watch. I honestly don't know what to think of Leao. Same, because Leao is literally hot and cold at the end of the day. He is very, very, very hot and cold, because if he's on it, he's unplayable. But if he stinks, well, he stinks bad. That's how it feels like. If he could get his mindset in the place where he can be like 80% time consistent and good, he would just destroy. Semenyo is an Arsenal fan. Bring him home. Yeah. Wasn't Olise as well an Arsenal fan and we didn't bring him home? Wasn't that the thing as well? Big up, people. 15 likes. Much appreciate that. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. I would take him in a swap, Nili or Trossard, him for Semenyo. Maybe. Do not sign another player until this manager is sacked. And that is the thing. This is the place where I'm caught between two minds, because obviously I know, and I can't say I know, but in my opinion, Arsenal need 3 players more: left wing, another midfielder, and a left back, a proper left back, not the Italian zucchini stallion who gallops across the pitch and goes for a wild carrot somewhere in the center circle, or a makeshift left back who actually is a number 8. But obviously, if Andrea Berta feels sorry, if Andrea Berta feels that he can sign a Leao or Olise in January for the next manager, if he signs a player for the next manager already, because 100% Andrea Berta is already fishing, he's talking to other managers who could replace Mikel Arteta in case if he doesn't win anything this season, because I think that is already happening. I would at least like to think so. Then I would agree with that. But if it's strictly for Arteta and he's staying another year, just no chance in hell. Yeah, as I said, maybe, yeah. Maybe not in this system, definitely not. If Berta buying for the next manager, then I'm all over it. Exactly. No, Elise is a Chelsea fan, but reports that, yeah, Eze is an Arsenal fan. Eze is an Arsenal fan. He's from our youth system and everything. I wish Elise was an Arsenal fan. Although it's kind of surprising the French player is not an Arsenal fan. Although I can see it, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But overall, yeah, I would love to have Elise as well at Arsenal. Theo Hernandez was £30 million last summer. We should have paid that. Well, we have Italian stallion. Who cares? Will you take David O'Leary for manager? He did a decent job for Leeds back then, though. He's a proper Arsenal legend as well. No. I don't want any ex-players as Arsenal managers. Unless there obviously is an what's the word I'm looking for? There's always exception to the rule. That's what I'm looking for. Exception to the rule. That if the manager, in this instance, we are more talking about Cesc Fabregas because he's the only Arsenal legend manager who can actually do something. If he wins Serie A, right, I would consider it. Only because he has proven that he can win a league. He can win a big trophy, and he has beaten Inter Milan, Napoli, AC Milan, Roma, Juventus, all those in the way, right? I would consider, but only if he wins Serie A. If he just wins nothing, he does a good job for Como and they just finish top 10, let's just say 8th for 2 years in a row. No chance in hell. Obviously, that's my only exception to the rule. But overall, I don't want any Arsenal legends to be an Arsenal managers at the end of the day. No. He hasn't managed in years. Plus, I don't want no more ex-players. Exactly. That's the biggest thing. No more ex-players. Unless he's a proven winner. Unless that person is a proven winner. No matter how you look at it. Let's be real. That is the only one, because at the end of the day, we just want to win trophies. We all want to win some trophies. Let's just put it that way. Cesc said he would rather the Chelsea job rather than Arsenal job when he comes to Prem. Well then, F you. To be honest, given the situation, how, I'm not too sure, Wenger and Arsenal treated him, kind of not surprised. To be honest, kind of not surprised because Arsenal did him dirty there. Had a chance to resign. They did not. They signed Mikel Arteta as his replacement. And then he went to Chelsea. He won stuff there and everything. Yeah, I kind of can see why. Exactly. Chelsea are more trophy-focused club at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it. But yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We're definitely gonna see. So at the end of the day, I don't know what to think. I genuinely don't know what to think. But at the moment, the season, the wheels haven't fallen off yet, but they definitely are shaking. I'm not gonna lie, they are shaking. The bolts are coming loose. Let's just put it that way. The bolts are coming loose. The question is, will Mikel Arteta actually fix that? Or at some point, the wheels are going to come off completely. Because, as I said before, and we talked about this during the stream, 4 points for a City is striking distance. Technically it's 2 games, right? 2 games. But it's a striking distance already. For City, that is nothing. For Arsenal, it's panic settings. For City, that is nothing. That is just another day at the office. We come, we do our job, we go home, we sleep well, we do the same thing tomorrow. For Arsenal, we tuck under the blanket, we suck our thumb, curl up in a ball, and pray for the best. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest difference. Because for me, Arsenal, the team is ready to win stuff. That's the biggest thing. The team can win stuff. The team is built to win stuff. But I strongly believe there is some sort of a mental block, which comes from the players, from the manager, which basically they cannot get over. And I don't think they will. It's really just like Groundhog Day again this season. Yeah, it is. November champions. Woohoo! We have won the league already in November. It's like it's like this fan base never learns. It's like Arsenal fan base never learns. I'm really worried about a Rice injury in these 2 England games. To be honest, I'm worried of quite a few. I'm worried about Saka, Rice, Gabriel Magalhaes, Hincapié, Skelly, Calafiori, even Eze to some extent. There are quite a few of those who, if something goes wrong, it's panic settings. Well, Skelly doesn't go to international duty, so it might not be as bad, but hey, you never know. In Arsenal's nature is someone comes back, someone gets injured. So far, nobody has gotten injured, but we have 4 players coming back, or 5 even. So there might be something happening there. And so far as well, we have had 2 international breaks and no injuries. Hopefully it lasts, because at some point that's going to run out as well. The warning lights are coming on the dashboard. Yeah, check engine light is on. The question is, check fuel pressure, check oil pressure, and all this stuff. Everything's coming on. It's not 4 points, it's 1, because we know we're losing when we go to City. Yeah, draw at best. But I'm not even looking that far. We first need to deal with, obviously, Chelsea away, where we haven't won in 2 years, 2 draws, and we should have lost one of those games. Spurs at home should be a win, but you never know. Straight after international break, might be struggling, might have stuff going on and all this. Obviously, Bayern Munich in between. Aston Villa away, they are picking up the pace slowly but steadily. They had a rough start of the season. They are already 6th or 7th in the league. So they're also picking up some momentum. It's not going to be easy. Arsenal, of the 3 teams, including City and Liverpool, have the toughest first fixtures of straight after international break. And that could change everything. If we had beaten Liverpool, City, Sunderland, I would be saying it done them 7 points. Drop will cost us big time. Yeah, and we're going to drop more. Tuchel better not play Saka, Rice, and Eze in these meaningless... He will play them. The only thing I will give Tuchel credit for, he actually rotates the players. He actually subs off Saka in these minutes. He has done it before, so hopefully that continues and Saka stays injury-free. If Saka gets injured, we still have Madueke and Dauman. Shouldn't worry that much. Yeah, shouldn't worry that much. Same thing as last year, right? Oh, when Saka goes injured, we will have players to play there. And we played Havertz on the right, Martinelli on the right, and when all shit hit the fan, and only when fan base started to kick their toys out of the Prem, he put Wanjeri there. Before that, he had no intention of playing Wanjeri there. Even Trossard played right wing. Same with when Odegaard was injured. Everyone said Wanjeri finally can play. Wanjeri didn't play. Zinchenko played there, Merino played there, Havertz, Trossard, everyone played there besides Wanjeri. And Madueke is not good enough as well. Because yes, he can do the first part of the job quite decently, taking on opponents, getting past them, cooking them, but his end product, final pass, is lacking. And that arguably, to some extent, is the most important part of the whole deal once you get past your opponent. Max Dauman. On Saturday, he had the perfect time to sub on Max Dauman. He didn't. He doesn't trust him enough. I don't see that happening. City have unlocked their full attack, bro. Plus, who's going to stop Haaland? Spurs ain't no joke. They barely concede, and their attack super good. Plus the squad depth. Yeah, the thing is, Spurs are going to play Palhinha as a number 6. And whenever we have played Palhinha against Fulham, he has cooked us. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens once again on the 23rd of November. I am saying thus now, if he parks the bus again, Bayern Munich 5-1, Bayern Munich again, yeah, pray for Bayern, hashtag it, don't forget it. Not good enough, max 15, he's not ready yet. He might be ready, but Arteta is not going to give him a chance to prove himself. At least Max Daumann takes on his opponent, he draws the fouls and maybe even a penalty if he gets a chance. At least he does that. At least there's some movement. Holland already a problem now, found plus Chelsea attack, too tough. Chelsea are only, 6 points behind us? Chelsea are 6 points behind us. Imagine if we lose at Stamford Bridge, it's only 3 points. They don't need Palmer anymore, plus we barely could handle Sunderland. Yeah, and the last 2 times we've played at Stamford Bridge, we have drawn. And as I said, we should have lost one of those games. The 2-0 game, we should have lost it. We had no chance getting into that game. But Sanchez made a mistake. Bandit like Declan scored from outside the box. And then Trossard, far corner tapping. Big up Gunnar SC. Lavakar. Hope you're doing well. Let's go. Uspriakshu means let's go, by the way. Chelsea were happy to beat Madueke to Arsenal. Yeah, just like they did with Havertz, like they did with David Luiz, Per Cech, and all them, man. It's a long goddamn list. Raheem Shillings and all them, man. Like, they're happy to give us their scraps. And Arsenal are taking it in with open arms, which is even more insane, to say the least. But yeah, people, don't forget, today's show is sponsored by the power of Love Yes Man, Mikel Arteta as the Professor, Calafiori as Blossom, Odegaard as Bubbles, and Havertz as Barcup. Don't forget that, people. Don't forget that. I'm telling you, now we are losing the North London Derby 2-1, and I'm going to war. Oh, imagine, like, let's just say, we drew to Sunderland. Imagine we lose at home to Spurs, and then at home, Bayern just spams us like 4-5-1. Can you imagine that? The wheels are gonna come off instantly. That's the thing, because as soon as the pressure is applied, this team just folds. Big up, Camden. Big up, Camden. But yeah, I think for today I'm gonna end the stream. If you haven't already, smash the like, subscribe if you're new. Had a great chat. Tomorrow, let's see what we can do on the stream. I have a few ideas written down. We can talk about Gyökeres. We can talk about Saka, although we already did a Saka stream, so we might talk about Gyökeres, for example, and other men, Odegaard, how they would fit in the team coming back from the injury. Will they start and everything? We can talk about that and stuff and everything. I will think about it. I definitely will think about it. But yeah, for today, I am signing off. So take care. Stay safe. Have a nice evening. Have a nice Tuesday. And hopefully, I'm going to see you very, very soon. Peace.